First day solo. Feels like I've been gone a while already, and not even a quarter into this trip. It's gonna be interesting. See how the whole bike holds together. Got a good refresh in exactly a week. A couple days pavement to catch back up to where I originally planned. Can be long, boring days. Listen to a podcast though. That makes it easier. Audiobook maybe. Not gonna record much today because I'm just gonna be flying along. I think maybe no, I won't be doing the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm essentially going back to the start of the Northeast BDR in Hancock, Connecticut, I think. Honestly, not sure if I'll even make it there because I think it's 9 or 10 hours. Like to set up camp before dark. We'll see how she goes. It's a campground, so it'll be an easy setup. Not hooking up my mic or anything for this camera today. The only thing you'll hear is maybe me cursing at traffic. Let's go. These next couple of days consisted of gritting my teeth and hammering down the tarmac. It's far from my favorite kind of riding, but it was still fun cruising across the country while listening to podcasts and audiobooks in my helmet. I could have had the time to explore more back roads, but the goal was to get to Arizona on time and meet with my friend Juan. Together, we would ride the south end of the Arizona BDR, then head into Mexico towards Copper Canyon. Although it wasn't quite as comfortable and nowhere near as easy, it was still nice spending my nights camping instead of getting hotels. It's also much, much less expensive. Good old honor system word. I will be honorable. $16 for 2 bundles. 1, 2, $16. Thank you very much, folks. Alright, a couple nice bundles. Wow. One bundle. Surely this most definitely won't fall off. Back on the road here. Man, it is warm and humid. Glass is instantly fogged up. I originally thought those 2 days were all I had for blasting highway to catch up. And I realized last night that today was more highway. But the hell with that. I'm gonna rip some of the Smoky Mountains. I think it's mostly paved, but then blast onto the highway later. I think I'm maybe gonna hit Deal's Gap today, Tail the Dragon. Those aren't real high up on priority for me. But if you're in the area, you may as well. So it's gonna make for another long day, but see how she goes. My cruise control hasn't been wanting to work too, so I gotta do that. And bam. Oh, still not working. Alright. Maybe I have to wait a little. It's completely random. Obviously something's up, but I don't know what it is. Oh, it's gonna be nice not to just fly down a highway. Days of that is too much. I don't know if people do that and enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I'd rather be doing that than like sitting at home, but it's pretty boring. Maybe that's why they only do like an hour or two at a time. I'm definitely gonna need a new Montana GPS when I get back, because look how off that is. Having a hard time for sure. Going around the backside of those washrooms. Oh, there we go. Found me. Looks like I might be getting some condensation on my GoPro screen. Oh man. If you go on a long trip, you got to be prepared for a lot of things to fail. As long as this baby keeps going, I'm good. Here's a big fella. I like to stop and get a photo, but last guy just let me by. I'd feel like a dick. Oh, tunnels! I've never ridden through so many tunnels as I have on this one area. That's the coolest part of all this. Alright, I talk a lot of shit about people riding for hours just to come ride this stuff. This is pretty sweet. Especially if you don't get to do the off-road stuff. You just ride road. As you find curvy roads like this all over the mountains. But you don't get that if you're a road guy. Or a trike guy. Unless you got a broken hip. Don't ride a trike. This is fun enough. I don't have to feel like I'm trying to go fast to have fun. I'm just cruising along at a nice speed. Mind you, I guess I'm still double the speed limit nearly. Well, I think it's 45. It's only like 10 over. So yeah, if you're a prod rocket guy and you drive all the way here, you're probably going to want to blast this. Also, there's a hell of a lot of people here, so it can be dangerous. That's like why I like riding off-road. A lot less tourists try and make some passes here. Even got a big old side-by-side up there. Holding up traffic. Giant suspension. Embarrassing your kind, man. Throw her into some corners. Those things gonna haul. Holding up a Dodge Durango. Pull over. Let that van by. It wants to get into the twisties. Yeah, that one was maybe a little closer than it should have been. I think one of the best parts of this big old stretch here through the Smoky Mountains. No cell service anywhere. So not that I would ever do it, but if someone was riding somewhat aggressively through here, couldn't call it in. I'm starting to realize these side-by-side dorks are maybe the worst ones on this road. Hey guys, the Honda Odyssey here is trying to rip. Embarrassing. My main camera died just as I stumbled into this bizarre safari. A stretch of asphalt purgatory called Cade's Cove. The name alone sounded like it might harbor some grand, savage mystery, but no. It was nothing more than a one-lane conveyor belt for timid souls clinging to the illusion of adventure. They crept along like hypnotized cattle, craning their necks for the faintest glimpse of half-tamed deer, too lazy to bolt. A tragic parade of the uninspired, too gutless to chase anything raw or real. I found myself sucked into this vortex of suburban desperation, wedged between minivans and roadside peddlers hawking their egos on grotesquely oversized signs. I fought the urge to shout or swerve wildly just to see if any of these rubbernecking lemmings had a pulse. Instead, I maneuvered through the madness as swiftly and silently as possible, nodding like a diplomat to avoid triggering the wrath of the sunburned and cranky. Battery is dead. Turns out it's just my my SD card was full. And while I was stopped there changing my SD card, I was thinking if anybody that I passed in that last section saw me, they'd be upset with me. I feel like I went by respectfully, and I've had 3 people stop, real happy to see me, excited about the Ontario plate, super friendly, so I'm always in my head thinking I'm making people angry, but people seem to generally be okay. Uh-oh, the road I want to do is closed. Let's see what it says. That looks very closed. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Oh, this is terrible. I gotta go back through that stupid fucking scenic thing. God damn it. Gonna be a long day. Might get a hotel after all. terrible that road was closed. I was on a breakaway. Good Lord. I don't know what that was called. But it was horrible. Oh, well, it's an experience. Cade's Cove Loop. Fuck that. So here's the one-way road on Cade's Cove, all the way along here. That was the terrible one-way, one-lane road. And this is where I was supposed to go through. It's an 8-mile road. Looks pretty fun. Now, because that wouldn't go through, that road was closed because of a fire about a year prior, I had to take this other one-way road, continue that stupid safari all the way back through, backtrack all the way back out here to 321, go through Townsend, all the way up here, West Miller Overlook, all this stuff, in order to get back to it, which is a total, you can see here, about 80 kilometers. That was quite the bummer for a detour, especially when I was really having a long day already. Between the slow pace of getting through the park and the detour, I was behind by a few hours. So I decided to head back to the highway and beeline it for my planned destination, New Albany, Mississippi. Turned out it wouldn't be my only delay, as I ran into some traffic issues. Time for this shit. Turns out some people really don't like you passing on the right. Luckily, when you're on an adventure bike, that's not really an issue. I was lucky to see the cop up ahead directing traffic and pull back in before he noticed me. Bit of a shit show today getting around everything, and then that big turnaround because of the trail that was closed.
while I was trying to add some extra miles. So it added even more miles. And then traffic was nuts, accidents everywhere. So just bit the bullet, booked a hotel at the destination I was planning on going to. It's 4 hours away. We're at 4 o'clock, but I'm gonna gain an hour getting into Central Time Zone. Cruise, no longer a rush. I was worried the campground. You just never know when you're showing up to random campgrounds. If they're open, if they're not, if they let you in after hours. I was looking at a different one and you gotta book 2 days in advance. So I'm not gonna take the chance. We're still on the hard miles portion of the trip. So just gonna do her, hopefully less hotels later. Maybe camp in Mexico. Also just found out Juan won't be joining me in Mexico, so I'll be solo for that too. It's gonna add a layer of fun. I haven't been practicing my Spanish. I really should have been. Joys of adventure. Let's go, figure it out. Let's ride. So, nothing but the best on these trips. I got a fancy, super fancy, Best Western hotel. Not even sleeping in a tent tonight. I rode 12 hours, so I said to hell with setting up a tent. And now, instead of getting some takeout or something like that, I'm gonna have some fancy in-home cooking. I got the Velveeta mac and cheese. This ain't no cheap craft dinner stuff. This is, as far as I know, available only in the US. I've never seen it. We may import it at some fancy restaurants, but I think it's only made here. So I'm gonna boil some water on my camp kit and try not to light the hotel on fire. Not one, but 2 Velveeta cheese shells. I really hope this doesn't set off the smoke alarm. The bag line that I've been carrying around on the bike all day. Alright, let's see how this stuff is. I have to add the magic cheese sauce. You know it's good because it's 2 steps. I'm trying to play this up, but I'm kind of regretting it. I am not gonna feel good tomorrow. It says not to strain the water. Oh my god. I think I'm gonna strain the water in the other one. pretty terrible. Good Lord.
Thanks for joining me on another section of my Toronto to Mexico trip. Stay tuned, as this is where I start to get into the real good stuff. Camping, crashes, maintenance, and all of the mayhem you would expect from a true adventure. As always, I love to read all of your comments and opinions on these videos. I had a lot of fun making this one and trying to improve my narrating skills. I'm excited to see the bump in viewership I've been getting over the last couple videos, so please, keep sharing, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe to keep seeing more. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.